Welcome, everybody. My name's Layne LaVanway, and you know what time it is. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about focus. Alright, so I finally got to go see the movie Focus. I know it's been out for a couple of weeks, and this movie is starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. And one of the cool things is that both of these characters, if you're into comic book movies, are both going to be in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie for DC. Margot Robbie's playing Harley Quinn, and Will Smith is playing Deadshot. So you get to sort of maybe a taste of what the two of them interacting might be like in that movie. But enough of that one. Let's get into Focus. So in this movie, Will Smith plays a con man named Nick. And one night he runs into, he's like a very established con man. And then one night he runs into an amateur con woman, Margot Robbie, who plays Jess. And sort of just once he figures out that she's a con artist, he teaches her a few things. He takes her under his wing and he sort of brings her into his operation. And things ensue. There's romance. There's betrayal. It's that kind of it's a con movie, but he teaches her that the biggest point about a con or robbing people or pickpocketing, all those things, is about focus. Wherever their focus is, you need to be doing something somewhere else. So you draw someone's attention over here while your other hand is pulling their wallet, things like that. So the con is all about the focus. So I enjoyed this movie quite a bit, actually. I know it's getting very mixed reviews, but I thought that they had pretty good chemistry together, Will Smith and Margot Robbie. I thought that they had a very good chemistry together. I liked them on screen together. I thought they were powerful. And the first half of this movie is very fun. If you're a fan of con movies in general, then the first half definitely has that setup. You're watching the setup of him bringing her in and testing her to see what her skills are and watching her grow and slowly bringing her in on what their con is. And Nick is not about the long con. That's sort of like that's sort of like a dream, a fake thing, that you try to get the one big con that pulls in all, enough to retire on. He's about lots of cons. He's got a whole organization of people that he can bring together if need be. And you try to, you do a bunch of little things that all racks up to be quite a bit of money. That's sort of his game. And so you're watching that process go out. I think it's, I don't think it's Super Bowl. It is. I think it is a Super Bowl. And so there's just a lot of stuff happening in town. And so he's got all these rackets running and you're watching as she's becoming involved and all the cool stuff. And it's a very, you're sort of learning about the con artists and what they do. And I saw there was some con artists sort of in the credits, like they said, or con artist consultants, so about how this stuff was done. So you feel like you're learning. You feel like, oh, this is cool. This is how they do it. This is how they trick you and get you into these things. And that's the first half of the movie. And then they finish the whole thing around the Super Bowl. And you're feeling, oh, that was really great. And then the movie skips 3 years, and you start the second half of the movie, which is a new con, but it takes a different tone. It feels, the movie just, it feels like it's suddenly maybe more serious, less like you're along learning how these things are happening and like along for the ride and like, ooh, what's going to happen next? It doesn't have quite that feel in the second half. There is a slight twist sort of at the end. It does. I would have to go back and watch some of those things, knowing once you get to the end and find something out. And in memory, it doesn't feel like all of it would have worked out exactly the way the script. Some things wouldn't have made sense. Even at the time, I remember thinking back and going, what about that conversation? Why would it have gone that way if this was the case? So, but I think that would take a really good second viewing, now knowing sort of that information, seeing, does it really hold up? Does that play out properly? But so I really liked the first half. The second half was just okay. It just felt felt more slower paced. It didn't feel like you were in on what was happening as much. And even in the first half, you don't know all the twists and turns, but you just feel like you're learning, you're along for the ride, you're getting to understand these things because you're following Margot Robbie's character Jess as she's learning the ropes. In the second half now, it's 3 years later, she's been doing this and she's not necessarily learning anymore in this con. And so suddenly you're just sort of an outsider now observing, and you know, they've been separated these 3 years, and he's sort of pining over her a little bit, and so you're just, again, it changes the tone. So it feels almost like it's two separate movies. Like they decided to make a sequel to focus, and then they just decided to let's cram both those movies into the one movie. That's sort of how different it really feels. Now again, I did enjoy this movie. I had a good time watching it. I don't feel like my money was wasted necessarily, but I would say it's definitely not a movie you have to see on the big screen. It easily holds up to just getting it on Redbox, getting it on Netflix, or and watching it that way on demand when it hits those mediums. There's no need to spend your money to see it on the big screen when there's other things coming out that are just much more grandiose, big cinema type movies. So I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a B-. Again, I don't feel like my money was wasted. I thought the movie looked good. I had fun, and that's sort of why I'm giving it. That's why I'm giving it the B-, because I don't feel like it was a waste of my time. I would watch it again to see, sort of try to piece things together with the knowledge you have after having watched the whole movie. I think it would still be a fun viewing at the end to sort of try to catch all those extra little moments that hopefully are spliced throughout the movie for further viewings. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button and leave a comment down below for me. If you've seen the movie, did you like the movie? Do you think that the end of the movie, once you know the twist at the end, does the rest of the movie hold up to the logic of that? All right, and go ahead and hit subscribe so you're aware of all the review videos coming out. You can catch every Site Flicks video every week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, watch more movies.